and welcome to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic here live from the Cars Convention, the Congress of Automotive Repair and Service, here from the Big Easy. Eileen Sottile, Executive Director of Quality Parts Association, is on stage with me. Elaine, I want to welcome you to Eileen
Right.
Sottile. Welcome to Bobby
Thank
Likis
you.
Car
Thank
Clinic.
you. Nice to meet you.
Give me an overview of your organization.
Well, the Quality Parts Coalition was established in 2006 to seek a permanent change to U.S. patent law. We had a case that was filed against the aftermarket industry in 2005 claiming patent infringement on hoods and bumpers and fenders and parts of that nature. It was a tough battle over the course of a year before the International Trade Commission, and the industry ultimately lost that case and was found guilty of patent infringement on 7 parts for the F-150. So the industry came together and started this coalition. Today we have over 85 members, and insurance companies, consumers, seniors, individual parts distributors and manufacturers in the aftermarket came together to try to promote this legislative change to the U.S. patent law so there can be free competition in the marketplace for aftermarket crash parts.
And how's it working?
It's going really well. The coalition's been around since 2006 now. We've had 3 bills introduced before Congress. We've had 4 hearings so far. Most recently, H.R. 3889 was heard in August before the House Intellectual Subcommittee on Patents in the Judiciary Committee. The hearing went exceptionally well. The bill's been introduced by Congressman Issa and Congresswoman Lofgren from California, and Issa in particular is a terrific advocate for this issue.
So, Eileen, walk me through that process, what you can share. How does a case appear, and who does what and to whom?
Mm-hmm. Well, in December of 2005, Ford filed this case against Keystone Automotive and a number of other parts manufacturers claiming patent infringement. It was the first case of its nature. And up until that point, the industry actually thought that they couldn't get patents on hoods and bumpers and fenders like you can't patent a pen or a pencil. So this was precedent setting. Shortly after this case was filed, another case was filed for the Mustang, and then that case was settled. But the industry stayed together, pushed forward to change the patent law to benefit consumers ultimately. It's really, truly a consumer issue. Because in the absence of competition, the car company part prices go up 8%. You know, we know that once we introduce a part into the market, the OEM prices deflate and consumers benefit, whether they use an aftermarket part or not. The other way consumers are impacted by this is if there isn't competition in the marketplace, more cars will be totaled. And then ultimately, we have a lot of support from senior groups. And for seniors, this is a critical issue because it's about their independence. You know, seniors in the United States rely very heavily on their vehicles to be able to move around. And this issue cuts truly to their pocketbook and their freedom and ability to move around and have access to independent transportation so they can live their everyday lives and get to their doctor's appointments and do their food shopping.
So that if I am a car maker, an OEM, and I design a car in my booth and behind closed doors, and I invest in that automobile, and I bring that automobile to market, and it's the new 2013 X, whatever. Mm-hmm. I own the rights to that car, and I own the rights to the shape, and of course I sell it to the aftermarket. I have to warranty it, Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act,
That's right.
of course. And how long am I on for, and how long can I hold the patents, and can I stop the aftermarket from duplicating parts for that automobile? Mm-hmm. Are we on the right track? Is that?
Yeah, you're very close to what happens. Well, ultimately, when the car companies are creating a new model and they launch that new model, typically before 2005, what we saw was they were patenting the entire vehicle. We didn't see them really patenting the individual component parts, or the skin of the vehicle, the hoods, the bumpers, and fenders. It's a very tricky situation because if the parts were under the hood, it would give us room, the industry room, to innovate. So we could change the shape or color or position of the part under the hood. It would be hidden. In this case, the parts are the exterior parts. So in order to restore the car to pre-accident condition, make the consumer whole, and make sure there's proper symmetry in the vehicle, the parts have to match. These are must-match parts.
Yes.
So we believe that once the car companies sell their vehicle, at the time the consumer walks on the car lot and that vehicle is taken away from the dealer, at that time they've recouped their right or exhausted their right to that royalty. To continue to go over and over again and have consumers who've had the unfortunate situation of having an accident and needing to replace a bumper or fender, paying the premium, over and over presents a difficult situation for consumers.
Tell me about the quality control of the other part, the part that's manufactured for the aftermarket. Is your organization also involved in the quality control issues of aftermarket parts?
No, the Quality Parts Coalition's only sole charge is to change the patent law. There are other organizations, NSF and CAPA, who certify the quality of the parts, and there are programs in place that the aftermarket benefits from that the OEMs don't have in place. But the QPC has a sole focus, and that's just changing the patent law.
But basically what you're talking about is a fair access for car owners and consumers to automotive parts other than the manufacturer of those particular automobiles.
That's right. This is all about competition and having those parts available in the marketplace. You know, the parts market today is $16 billion. Only about 13 to 14% that's the aftermarket today. Our parts are 30 to 50% less, 25 to 50% less than the corresponding car company parts. And you're less likely to have a car forced to a total if you use some combination of aftermarket parts. So it's definitely a pocketbook issue and a good consumer issue.
Well, and it reminds me, it brings to mind big oil versus ethanol, and the fact that ethanol is an alternative fuel, and there's always a reason not to use it. And so there are always two sides to every story, but the bottom line is who benefits? The consumers benefits, American consumers. So I want to congratulate you. It sounds like your mission and the core competency and the mission statement of your organization is right on track, and it seems that you have traction as well. So how many cases do you have pending?
Well, now there are no cases. Fortunately, there's no cases pending before the ITC, so the coalition's been very active in Washington. We've had over 500 meetings on the Hill. We're encouraging consumers and members of the automotive industry to go to our website, keepautopartsaffordable.com, and write a letter to your member of Congress and asking them to support our legislation.
Eileen Sottile, Executive Director, Quality Parts Association. Thank you for sharing the information. Most interesting, and I wish you much success, and I will share with our Car Clinic listeners information that I've gleaned. Give us the website one more time.
Keepautopartsaffordable.com.
Keepautopartsaffordable.com.
That's right.
Thanks, Eileen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
There you have it. That's great information for you. Keepautopartsaffordable.com. Check it out. And in the meantime, stay tuned. I'm Bobby Likis. I'll be back.